This is Bryce Van Patten with Metal Express Radio Backstage, and my guest today is Fredrik Bergh, the keyboard player, founding member of Swedish Power Metal band Bloodbound, and Fredrik's here to talk about their new album, Creatures of the Dark Realms, which comes out May 28th on AFM Records. How's it going today?
All fine. The album is going to be released tomorrow, so we're doing lots of promotion at the moment.
Perfect. Yeah, it's a great record. I reviewed it for the station, and I thought it was, just really fantastic. If somebody was unfamiliar with Bloodbound, how would you describe the band and your sound?
I think it's we are a power metal band, but we have the roots are in the classic metal like Maiden, Priest, except this is what we grew up on. But we're also, got a touch of this more symphonic. We have some symphonic elements, like bands like Nightwish and Sabaton and bands like that. So we come from the classic era sound, but we have mixed in some other influences as well.
Bloodbound, you guys have had a really stable lineup, with the exception of your drummer, who's been with you guys like around 4 years. Is that right? The rest of you guys have been 10 years plus together. And yeah. How has that helped the band to evolve musically?
We as a band now we really like each other. The members, we get along real well, and we have a good time. And I think that shows in the music as well, because we really like each other's company when we are out touring and stuff like that. And I think that is the most important thing, when you make music and try to be the best you can. You need to have a positive and energy surround you. So we have a fantastic lineup now, and it's going well.
Awesome. So I understand that you write as well as with Patrick and Thomas. And can you talk about the songwriting process for the new record, Creatures of the Dark Realm?
We've done it, like we have done on the maybe 3 or 4 last albums. The three of us sit in our home studios, collect material, and then we send it to each other and bounce ideas back and forth. And when we are happy, 100% happy with the song, we make the arrangements and include it on the album, and that's the same process we have all the time. We make an album.
So can you talk about the importance of melody in your songwriting? Because a lot of metal bands are riff based, and maybe the vocals work off of riffs sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Where I feel that the vocal elements in Bloodbound are really strong and upfront as far as melody wise. So can you talk about that a little bit?
I think the vocal melody is the most important thing in a song, and when I write, I always start with the basic chords and work out the vocal melodies. So the focus is totally on the vocal. And if the melodies are strong, with only a keyboard or a guitar or whatever, then we know it's a good song, So I know some bands are just, jamming and making a lot of different segments, and then they need to fit in a vocal somehow over it. Right. But we're not one of those bands. We work from the vocal melody and then base the music around it.
So as a keyboardist, I know you also play some other instruments. I kind of looked over your history in the band, and you do backing vocals and you play bass and other things. Do you always start with the keyboards when you're writing, or do you just kind of get inspiration whatever hits you?
I always, I work out vocal melodies sitting at the keyboard, because I think keyboard is the perfect instrument to find all the chords and scales and melodies. So it works for me, because keyboard is my instrument, so that's why it works, I guess. But
Yeah, can I ask you who was your influence when you first started playing keyboards, or what got you, made you decide that keyboards were for you and inspired you to take up the instrument?
You know, I grew up during the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Then there were keyboards in everything, in the
Right.
pop music, even metal bands like Priest and Maiden started using keyboards. And I also like lots of progressive bands like Rush and stuff like that. And also AOR bands like Journey and bands like that. So I thought keyboard was, I really liked the sound of keyboards. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I, decided to be a keyboard player.
Was there any one keyboard player that inspired you? If you had to name any one person that you saw and you just went, "That's amazing. That's what I have to do."
No, no. I always been song based, so
Mm-hmm.
it's all about the song. So I don't care if someone is playing 5,000 notes a minute or whatever. It's
Exactly.
yeah. I really don't have a special keyboard hero, so to speak.
How important is it for your band to have a semi-constant sound or a brand that people immediately recognize to be Bloodbound? It's like when you hear AC/DC, you immediately know, you know what I mean? They're like a brand. Their sound and a lot of other bands. How important do you feel that is to your band?
That's really difficult because I think it's really hard these days, to create, a unique sound.
Mm-hmm.
I think when Nightwish came with the operatic vocals, and that was really something new. But
Mm-hmm.
when I listen to metal bands, also Bloodbound and other bands, uh, it's really hard to get this super unique sound, I think. So I'm not sure if we have a brand like AC/DC or Nightwish or whatever. It's it's
Right.
difficult.
What are your plans for possible touring given COVID, and what's lying ahead for you guys as far as possible live shows?
We have just a couple of days ago, we got another festival canceled, of course, this summer.
Mm-hmm.
And the shows we have this spring and this summer are all canceled, of course. But we have plans for a European headline tour in early 2022. And
Excellent.
also some club shows in Finland and Sweden in October, and a few this Christmas December festivals also in Europe. So we have maybe 5-6 shows that could happen this year at the end of the year that I'm hoping
Uh-huh.
for. Yeah.
Okay. Are there any plans to come to the U.S. next year?
No concrete plans. We play. As a matter of fact, the last shows we did were at the 70,000 Tons of Metal
Mm-hmm.
in the States, and it would be great to come back there again, or to Prog Power, where we also played a couple of years ago.
Is the 70,000 Tons of Metal, is that the cruise ship with a bunch of metal bands?
Yeah, from Florida.
Wow. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Down to Mexico and
Well, speaking of live, I noticed that you guys wear some makeup, and can you talk at all about your stage show and some of the theater involved?
That was on the first album. We looked like a Norwegian black metal band, more or less. But we played power metal, heavy metal, and the funny thing is, the band Powerwolf. Yeah, they're getting very big. They are very big here in Europe, and they had the same, more or less the same ideas we had from the beginning. But we, after the first album, we don't want to do it anymore. So these days we don't have any makeup, this corpse paint makeup live.
Right.
So So it was only in the beginning of the band.
And what about the devil horns on your singer?
Yeah, that's Patrick's image. That's kind of cool, I think.
Yeah,
We have,
yeah.
we
So,
have,
so you guys aren't wearing the makeup, but he still has that.
yeah, yeah. We have some makeup, but not this over the top makeup, you know.
Right, right. Not
Yeah.
really crazy stuff. You guys aren't all looking like King Diamond or somebody at this point, right? So,
No.
you kind of touched on that already as far as touring and everything, but how else has the COVID crisis affected your ability to make a living as a musician?
As a matter of fact, none of us are making a living out of the band. You know, we all have
Oh,
day
okay.
jobs
Mm-hmm.
on the side, and I can say we are very happy to have had day jobs when this crisis came. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
because I know some friends that they are not in big bands, but they need to do a certain amount of gigs every month. And
Mm-hmm.
then they barely survive, you know, when they play all the time. And
Right.
for a band like that, it's they have zero income, you know, when
Right.
this crisis came. So I'm happy we had day jobs, you know, when this came.
Did it affect at all how you guys recorded your album?
No, we have done it the same way, you know, as in the past. So it hasn't affected us at all,
That's
to be
excellent. So
honest.
you guys were kind of ready for it already, just
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of the way you work, right?
yeah, yeah. And three of us have had COVID also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, half the band. Yeah, I had it in December, and also the bass player. And now Patrick, the singer, had it just maybe 1 month ago.
Yeah. How did it? How was it for you guys?
I still have no smell and taste. It's more or less gone, you know.
That sounds nasty.
Yeah, yeah, it's irritating, you know. It's you know, not so fun, but it could have been worse, you know.
Right. You know, just looking forward to music coming back and touring and all that. And
Yeah,
um, I I don't know if I'm right, but I saw that you guys have 3 videos so far from the album. Is that correct?
yeah. Two lyric videos and one real video, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Are there any more in the pipeline?
Maybe one more, but I'm not sure. Maybe that will
Mm-hmm.
come later, you know.
Okay. Um, that's about all I have for you today, Fredrik. Is there anything else that you'd like to add or share with us?
I just want to thank the fans in the States for the support when we play there, and we hope to come back.
It would be awesome. I would love to see you guys. My last question: you mentioned possibly headlining a tour. Do you know who you would be, who might be coming along, or have you thought about what other bands might make the perfect show for your tour to support you guys?
As a matter of fact, we are talking to a few bands at the moment, but I can't say any names because it's not
Okay.
finalized.
Right.
But I can say that it will be a 4-band bill. We will have,
Mm-hmm.
you know, 3 opening bands. So it's going to be every band on the planet is wanting to tour now. So we need to
Right.
have a really good package, you know.
Yeah, I think every fan on the planet's ready for you to tour, and everybody else too.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I just want to thank you again, Fredrik. I really appreciate you taking the time with us, and look forward to the album coming out tomorrow.
Thank
And
you.
again, Creatures of the Dark Realm on AFM Records. Everybody should go pick that up. And thank you just one more time.